All right, so I'm with Matt Wright and Cal Holmes, and I wanted to ask them a few quick questions about music in particular. They're both accomplished musicians, and there's some parallels to music and chiropractic, interestingly as that is. And so I'm just going to go ahead and ask their thoughts on what makes them, what's their philosophy of music, and what it is about their musicianship that stands out. Okay, so this is Matt Wright, part of the band here, and Kel Holmes, and they their musicianship really to me is very distinctive. And when I've asked Matt before, what makes it stand out, why his musicianship is so understated and yet so distinctive. So I don't know if I've spelled that out well, but can you speak to that, Matt?
Well, I think what may be different in the way that I approach music, and I think Kale does this a similar way, and why we also work so well together in a band setting, is that similar approach, and that is that. Um, well, I'll speak for myself, but I think you'll probably agree that we play for the music. In other words, we don't play our part to be a soloist or to just to be heard. We play for the greater good of the song. And the way that I get there is I play um, for the feel of the song. Every song has its own feel and its own way that it moves, breathes. It's like a live piece of art, not a static piece of art. So the way that it moves is your rhythm, your timing. You know, your melody may be your color, and so all these things come together to make up what we call a song. But the way that I approach it is you have a feel of the essence of the song, and you play for whatever that is. So if I'm playing guitar, you know, I may play just a very little part, a very understated or background or softer part, if that's what the greater whole picture or song feels to me like it needs. Um, or I may play a lot if that's what it feels like it needs. It's a matter of it from intensity or whatever that feel is. So there are soft songs and there are rockin' songs and there's everything in between. So that varies with every song, and it's the same with drums or vocals or anything. I mean,
I know in the past that you've said to me that the composition is already there, the song is already there. It's a beautiful composition. Um, you don't have to create. You're bringing out from the song with what is already in the song, and you're just highlighting that. You're just bringing out the highlights of this piece that speaks for itself. And so I'm going to turn that back to Cal and see if he can speak to that as well.
As a band, and we kind of have an idea of what we want the. So say we're playing somebody else's song, you know, a cover song. So we kind of have an idea of what that person did with that song, but then every musician has their own way that they like to play music, and it's kind of a neat thing to take a whole group of musicians and I'll say blend everybody's specific ways they like to do something, and make something that it may not be the original. It may not be the original, but it's a um, we'll say maybe a better version of that song for the sake of it's what comes out of us. We feel it and we enjoy what we're making more. You know, so it you know you could go. It's so subtle, I guess, of what we try to make it as subtle as possible. The changes that we make to the song, that the people listening to it don't really, they might not even remember of how that song was done prior to. You know, we just want to make it our song.
and most of the time that like you said, there's an original initial composition. I mean, there's a structure, a framework to work with, and most of the time, like Kale said, it's a subtle thing that we do to it, but that's how the song hits us. You know, so the song strikes us that way. That to us is the essence of the song, the feel of the song. So we'll apply our talents, habits, feels to it, and it usually comes out, you know, a little different. We hope better, at least to us, the way it feels better than the original one because it speaks to us. It's how it speaks to us or through us. You know, how we apply our feel and talent and emotions to a song.
I think that's what strikes me is that you guys seem to have a respect for the music, and you're not trying to overpower it. You're not creating. In a sense, you're creating, but you're bringing out from the song, and it's so analogous to what chiropractors do. I won't take the time right now to elucidate that, but it strikes me, well, and I think Cal hit on it. The subtlety of the things that you add to the music just make it so beautiful. Bring out the beauty of the song, and that's really what I'm trying to get at. Is the beauty is already there in the song, but you have the talent, the experience, the skill to see it and interpret it, and yet not, you know, what makes you guys, in my mind, stand out is that you don't overpower it. You don't feel the need uh, to to make yourself stand out as much as you do. Uh, just bring this beauty out from what's already there.
Play for the song, not for yourself. So if you're playing for the song, you know, that you're playing for what the song is to you, what it feel, how it strikes you, what does it need? If it doesn't need a lot of me, I'm not going to give it a lot of me. You know, so it is. So that's why you don't overpower or overplay. A lot of people overplay. You know, I've got lots of skill. Let me show it all right now in one song. You know, but usually less is more. So it's just give it what it needs. No more, no less. Just give it what it needs according to how you feel it.